Hello everyone, welcome to another question and answer. You guys have been having some really good questions and some really tough cases. Some of you have some serious health problems going on, and I just want you to know that regardless of what you're dealing with, you gotta work at this, because if you're not gonna work at this, you're gonna go the other way. There's no sitting in the middle. So either you got to work on yourself or things are going to get worse. There's no in between. So you got to hit this. No matter how hard it is, how much you've been trying, you got to keep trying harder, and you got to really believe that you can get better. You can see the improvements you're looking for. It's just going to take a little bit more effort and a little bit more work. So, you know, and also if you guys ever need like real guidance or anything, you can always reach out to one of us, one of our specialists, and we'll help you. We'll hold your hand and walk you through the path. So let's see what kind of questions we got today, guys. Okay, so the first one is going to be Marie. Can you address asthma and lung detoxification? Thanks. All right, well, thank you for your question, Marie. And I had asthma as a kid. I used to have the mask to where I would do treatments once a day or something, and I actually beat the asthma whenever I really started doing some track and field in high school. I used to have breathing problems up until then. And really, I mean, the best way to detox the lungs is by doing deep breathing. Breathe in through the nose, fill up the stomach, and then exhale through the mouth. Fill up as much as you can. So big breath through the nose, hold it for a second or two, and breathe out. This would also be great to do if you can do it like in a shower. Close the door, make it steamy in there. That way you're getting the steam, and that'll help bust up some of this mucus and break up some of this congestion in the lungs. I know Dr. Morse also has a, I think it's called a 3-lung tea or 3-lung formula that can help with that as well. But doing some cardio, that's going to help a lot, because what do we do cardio for? To sweat, for number one, but number two, it makes us breathe heavily. That way we're doing the deep breathing. We don't have to actually just sit at home and really focus on doing some deep breathing, even though that would be ideal. And I mean, you don't have to be all day long. I mean, do like 20 breaths at a time, and then in the morning, and then do it again in the evening, or in the shower when you have like some steam going on. That would be great, but you got to clean out the lungs. You have to clean them out. But also, your lymphatic system is backed up all throughout your body. It's not just in the lung area. That's just where the symptom, where you're experiencing the most blowback at from having so much acidity and toxicity built up throughout the body. So also be kind of wary, you know, if you're putting on like perfumes or anything that's kind of chemical that you're breathing in, that you're smelling. If you have like any mold or anything in your house, these can all play a part in, you know, damaging the lungs and causing congestion. So really work on cleaning the lungs out. You can try the Dr. Morse's herbal formula, and really cut over as much to a raw food diet as you can, because this is going to be your detox power. This is what's going to pull, especially like your grapes, your lemons, grapefruits, your astringent fruits are the ones that really pull on the tissue to pull out this toxicity, this acidity out from the cells. That way it can be flushed out of the body. So raw food diet, very, very important. If you have to transition to it, take it slow, but try to work and get better week after week with that. Do some deep breathing, try to get out there and do some cardio to really open up the lungs, because I mean, this is what I did and it worked for me. So you got to really hit it hard. You got to start changing up, doing a couple things that you haven't done before. That way you can really clean out and detox the lungs. So thank you for your question, Maria. I hope that kind of helps a little bit. Let's see. Gilda. Hello, David. Yes, please do this. Looking forward to watching you. Would you be able to do one on inguinal hernia? Sorry if I mispronounced that. I had an operation last September, no mesh. It's come back. Cheers, Gil from Australia. Ooh, Australia. I'm in Hawaii, so we're not too far away. So a hernia, I actually have a umbilical hernia that's busted out of the abdomen, and it was kind of looking like an eyeball for a bit. I don't know if yours is sticking out or not, protruding to where you can actually see it, but some of the things that I did, because I actually pulled up the intestine and closed in the hole, and it shrunk dramatically, where it went from looking like an eyeball to just looking like a belly button. So this is a parathyroid gland weakness. You got two of them that sit on each side of your thyroid, and their main purpose is to utilize calcium. Calcium is needed to have that connective tissue strong. It's connective tissue strength. And when our bodies become too acidic, our body starts leaching calcium, magnesium, these other minerals to neutralize these acids. And the blowback to that is that now the calcium that was in our connective tissue is now not there. So the connective tissue has become weaker. And this is where, if we strain or anything, the intestine can bulge out and protrude through the abdomen wall. So things that I did take a parathyroid glandular from Dr. Morse. I did a raw food diet. I did it for 9 months to see some really dramatic improvements. I did do some vegetables. I did like a salad a day, but it was mostly just fruits the rest of the time. So the raw food diet is necessary. That's your base on all of these problems. Raw food diet is always going to be your base, because that's what our species is designed to eat. So we have to go back to nature if we want to actually, correct our health problems. So the raw food diet, then you also got to work on eliminating all this waste, because in that area where the hernia is at, if you have a bunch of acid buildup, how can you get proper hydration, oxygen, nutrition, and energy to those cells to repair and rebuild some of that torn abdomen tissue? You can't. So you got to detox, and you got to clean out all of that. That way the proper nutrition can get to those cells, to where it's damaged, and start repairing, rebuilding. That's what I had to do. It does take some time when you have these connective tissue weaknesses like this. But I know it's possible because of what I've done with it. So also something that I did, what was very interesting, is I took a TENS unit, the electrodes, and I would put them on each side of the hernia. And it would send like that a little electrical impulse cause your abdomen to contract and release. And I don't know, I find it helped me, especially when I did it daily for like an hour. I would just put it on there and go about my day. So that's something else that I've done. And let's see, did I do anything else? No, just raw food diet. Get the parathyroid glandular if you can. Try to get some type of like exercise in or something to get you sweating, because you've got to eliminate this waste. Sweating, make sure your kidneys are filtering. Try not to do like any type of ab exercises or anything, because when you're gonna contract your abdomen, you're creating lactic acid. This is more acid you gotta flush out of the body. So we're trying to limit all of this acid buildup as much as possible. We're trying to flush it out and get rid of it all. Be done with it once and for all. So you got to hit this hard. It's going to take a little time, but like I said, I know what's possible with it, and you can definitely see some improvements with this the longer you're going to stick to it. So I hope that helps, Gilda, and thank you for your question. Let's see. Deborah says, can you address mold and MCAS? That is mast cell activation syndrome. Thank you, David. Can't wait to watch your work. You are a blessing. Thank you. And Betty has the same question, but Betty can't eat any fruit or vegetables, only tolerate raw milk, small portions of rice, and small portions of red meat. Was doing Dr. Moore's teachings when I got sick. This happened after pandemic. Okay, so this is kind of like an allergy, but with no like cause to it. Like they don't know why these types of symptoms, and the symptoms can be like the low blood pressure, hives, you could break out. It's like an allergy symptom almost. And the reason why, Betty, you can have small portions of milk, rice, and red meat is because these foods stop your body's detox process, okay? And it gives the body the illusion that things are getting better because it's suppressing the symptoms. It's not correcting anything. You just keep suppressing the symptoms. It's not healing the body or anything like that, because these foods do not heal. So, and also, if you have mold in your house, like you said, Deborah, if you're having mold in your house, you just said to address mold. Yeah, this will definitely play a part because you're constantly breathing that in. I mean, it's toxic, it's acidic to us, and we have to clean that out of our body. So the reason why, whenever you go, Betty, whenever you go on to the raw foods, you said eating any fruit or vegetables, I guess you have like some type of symptoms. These are the detox symptoms. If you ever want to see improvements to this, you have to go at it, and you are going to experience these symptoms. Like all of this congestion, your whole body is backed up in the lymphatic system. There is so much chemistry built up in that lymphatic system, in your interstitial fluids that surround your cells, and it's just sitting there. And anytime you eat some type of fruit or anything, you're having a reaction because your body's initiating a detox process. And whenever you're going to start detoxing this, it's going to come out and you are going to go through it. You just have to work through it. Know that these are the foods that repair, rebuild, and detox. These are the foods meant for us, the fruits, berries, and the melons. Now, you've got to actively be eliminating while doing this process. The diet's 50%, the elimination's the other 50%. If you're just doing it a diet, it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work, because where is all of this acid waste going to go? If you're not properly eliminating out of the skin, sweating, or through the kidneys, urinating, where is it going to go? Nowhere. It's going to stay within us. So y'all got to both get out there, start sweating. Go do some cardio. That'll help get you some deep breathing, and it'll get you sweating. Put a sauna suit on, put a jacket, put 2 jackets, put 3 jackets on. Try to sweat this waste, this chemistry out of the body. Like I said, you're gonna have to go through it in order to get to the other side of it. You just gotta stay focused and keep pushing on. Also, to help you sweat, doing some hot steam showers. Do some deep breathing while you're in the steam shower. When you get out, take a blanket or a hoodie, wrap yourself in it while you're still hot to make you sweat even more. Try sitting in an Epsom salt bath, so that way you can pull out, start opening the pores of the skin. Saunas and steam rooms are good too. I would just prefer to do the cardio, because in order to move your lymphatic system, you have to move. It's a cholesterol-based system. It's a self-pump system. It's not like the blood that just flows like water. You have to actually get up and move it. And the way to move it is by pumping your calf muscles. As you walk, as you take a step, the calf muscle will flex, and this will pump your lymphatic system to moving. Now, also eating your astringent fruits, like your grapes, your lemons, your limes, your grapefruits. These fruits will help tug on tissue and start pulling that out so you can eliminate it. But with this, since you're having so much of a blowback effect whenever you're eating these foods, I would slowly transition. That way you don't just get hit with a wall of these symptoms. So go into something like some cooked vegetables, some steamed vegetables at first. You don't want to cook them to death, because there goes all the nutrition. Slowly turn this. Steamed vegetables, add a little bit of fruit. Really focus on sweating, making sure your kidneys are filtering. Pee in a clear glass. See if you have any sediment or particles floating around in the urine, and work your way through this. Every week, get a little strict with the diet, a little more fruit. Maybe start off like 40% raw foods, 60% cooked foods, and then every week, try to turn that ship around. Go to 50-50, then a 60-40. You know, work your way through this. Just don't, I would not recommend jumping right in 100% into a raw food diet, because you're going to have symptoms out of the you-know-what, and it's going to be too rough, and you won't want to continue. So take it slow. And if you want to do some type of herbs, kidney and bladder herbs are great. The lymphatic herb would be great too. Just make sure you are eliminating if you're taking a lymphatic herb. Because again, if you're not eliminating, it's just sitting in us, and our body's going to initiate a healing crisis, which can be vomiting, it can be chills, headaches, it could be aches and pains throughout the body. Your body can induce a fever to make you sweat. Your body's going to find a way to get this buildup out of you one way or another. But you got to work at it though, because like I said earlier, either you're going to get worse or you're going to get better. There's no just sitting in between, because as you're going to get older, things are going to either get better or worse, depending on if you've been really actively working and trying to clean out your body. So I hope this helps a bit, Deborah and Betty. Thank you for your question. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, Casey says eczema and psoriasis. Okay, bad PMS with clumps, detoxing the ovaries and hormonal system in female body from excessive birth control use. Okay, so anytime we have any type of skin conditions, this is just simply saying our bodies, our skin, the pores are clogged up. We're not sweating enough. We're not eliminating enough. And all of this congestion, these acids and toxins are sitting under the pores of the skin. They're trying to come out, but they're unable to. And this is causing the reaction on our skin. You got to actively try to focus on detoxing the skin as much as you can. Like some Epsom salt baths to help draw out some of this acidity under the skin. Hot showers, open up the pores of the skin. I wouldn't put like any types of lotions or anything, because that just congests the skin even further. You can also do cardio again. I love cardio because you're going to get sweating and it helps clean out the lungs. So infrared saunas, not infrared, or just a regular sauna, steam saunas, steam rooms, anything to try to get you sweating. You got to sweat this out. You can also look at your iris and see if you see a skin ring and see how thick the skin ring is in your iris to determine how congested the skin really is. But if you're having these types of conditions, yeah, there's definitely some skin congestion. I used to get some of that eczema like on my face, like right here. And as I detox, clean out, no more. Never had it ever since. So again, the raw food diet's always the base. If you have to transition, but really work at it. Every week, try to get a little bit more stricter, a little bit more raw, and slowly turn everything around. Now, if you're having bad PMS and clumps, okay, and trying to detox the ovaries, everything with the female reproductive is going to be your pituitary gland, because they control your reproductive organs. But now, if you're having these menstrual cycles and you're having clumps, I mean, obviously they're pretty heavy. This indicates a lot of this acid buildup, toxicity in your pelvic region. Okay, same thing with the skin. Your whole body's backed up. The lymphatic system's backed up right now. Your sewage system's backed up. All your sewage pipes are clogged. You gotta open up the pipes and allow all this waste to flow out of your body, or else it just keep backing up. And why do women live longer than men? Because they have 5 channels of elimination: respiration, defecation, urination, perspiration, and women have menstruation. That's the 5th one. That's why women live longer than men, because they have 5 channels and men only have 4 channels. So really backed up in this area. Again, the raw food diet, work on opening your channels of elimination. Make sure your kidneys are filtering. Get out there and work on sweating. Get this skin, these pores opened up so you can get this acidity out of the body. And you can also do, Dr. Morse has the Heal All Tea. He does douches with the Heal All Tea, and they have great success doing that. So can give that a try to help clean up some of that pelvic region a bit. But also just actively just hit it hard. Like I said, if you got to transition to all raw, that's fine. But just actively work on getting better and better week after week. That way you can see these improvements. So I hope that helps a bit, Casey, and thank you for your question. Last one, okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm going to spell it SRDJAN. Kids with autism from VAX. You already know what I mean, what I'm talking about. How do you heal from it? Okay, so it's been shown that these, you know what, cause neurological issues, or can cause neurological issues. Again, it's just chemistry that doesn't belong in the body, that's coming in the body, and we're having a reaction. And in this case, anytime you're dealing with any type of neurological issues, what glands deal with the neurological? That's your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands produce the neurotransmitters that send the signals up the myelin sheath to the brain. But now you also need your parathyroid gland working right, because they utilize calcium. Calcium is needed to send that electrical impulse with the neurotransmitter up the myelin sheath to the brain. So you need your adrenal glands working right, and you need the parathyroid gland working right. So basically, same thing. You got to detox the body. You got to get this foreign chemistry out of you, and you got to repair the damage that it's caused. The brain and nerve formula would work great. Lymphatic formulas, kidney and bladder formulas, all of that will help to flush this chemistry, this foreign chemistry, out of the body. I mean, that's essentially what you got to do. But it's, again, the base is always the raw food diet. That's always the base. And next is the elimination. You got to be eliminating sweating, urinating, make sure the bowels are cleaned out, and clean out the lungs. You got to have those four. That's the only way you can get this chemistry out of you. It's not just going to disappear and float away into thin air. You got to eliminate it one way or the other. So 50% diet, 50% elimination, and doing some of the formulas will help to speed up the process and kind of, you know, repair some of the damage. So I hope that kind of helps and clears up a bit. So that's going to be a wrap for me, guys. This one was a little bit shorter, but I do thank you all for your questions. And again, if this video really helps you, please hit that like and the subscribe button, and let's try to get this message out to people about how they can repair and rebuild their bodies, because I'm tired of seeing people sick and suffering. I watched my dad suffer with cancer for 10 years, over $3 million in surgeries, and still passed away a very gruesome death. So nobody has to suffer like that. We can all see great improvements to our health, but we gotta take care of this and hit these problems early. Don't keep pushing them off and prolonging and thinking, oh, it's just some high blood pressure, I'm not gonna take it serious, or I just got some high cholesterol, I'll wait on it. No, you got to jump in this. These are signs that your body's honking the horn saying, hey, things are backing up in here. Things are breaking down. And if you don't do something about it, it's going to continue to break down. Your body is just like a car. It requires maintenance work and to be cleaned out. Just think if you never took your car to the body shop or to the mechanic, never changed the oil in it, it's going to leave you on the side of the road at some point. And that's what our bodies are doing when we're not addressing these health problems. You got to always actively be detoxing, especially if you're eating these acidic foods that's trying to break your body down in the first place. Guys, this is so important because your health is everything, and without it, you have absolutely nothing. You can't enjoy life, you can't go anywhere, you can't play with the kids. There's nothing. There's nothing. So take your health seriously. If you have a serious case and you want, more help, more guidance, you want one of us to hold your hand and walk you through this process, we do that. You can visit my website at Alka-Clean.com. We also have a bunch of testimonials there showcasing some amazing results. So again, guys, thank you so much for all your questions and for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.